don't know if the connection is good. It is Monday. I, once again, don't know if I'm on my private page for Facebook. I really need to get with the program. How do I do this post? Dun, 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 dun. I don't understand how you do a post. It's not what I want. That is not what I want. I want this. Instagram. I'm having a really good time right now. Let me see. Hey, Rita. How's it going, girl? Welcome, welcome, ladies. Come in, come in, come in. It is Food for Thought Monday night. I wanted to do some real talk with y'all tonight. So I'm on Facebook. I'm on Instagram. Facebook, I don't know if I'm on my Feed That Glow page or am I on my personal page. It's not a biggie, not a biggie. Hey, hey, hey. Let me see, how do we get... I'm trying to see how to leave a comment on Instagram. So anyways, Instagram, I have no clue how to let you know what we're talking about tonight. But tonight we're doing some food for thought. We're doing real talk. So hey, how's it going? Oh, I'm on my personal page. Oh, well, not a biggie. I'm not going to start again. So I am on my personal page instead of on Feed That Glow. Not a big deal. For those who don't know me, hey, Instagram, nice to see you. Nice to see you. I am Crystal. Oh, here we go. I am Crystal from Feed That Glow. .co and also from Project Glow Radio, the podcast. Food for thought. I'm just putting a post Facebook on the gram. Food for thought. Come in, come in, come in. We're gonna do some real talk tonight. I gotta be real with y'all. I have been feeling in a funk for probably close to like almost a week. No, not a week. I think I started feeling in a funk on Friday. I think it was Friday. Food for thought. So we're doing some real talk, Graham fam. How's it going? We are going to talk about what to do because I wanted to come on tonight and talk about real talk, about how sometimes we feel in a funk and how we can pull ourselves out of that, because it's all perspective, right? So I want to come and I want to give like a pep talk to you that I've been giving to myself for the last week. Real talk. So the Graham fam, here we go. Hey, nice to see you. Real talk, feeling in a funk. Who else is feeling in a funk? Tell me, first of all, like if you've ever felt stuck in a funk, if you've ever felt like what the hell is happening, maybe you're in that right now. That's why I figured I'm gonna do a pep talk for all of us feeling in a funk. I'm just trying to pin a post on Instagram and it's like insane. So feeling in a funk, Graham fam, let me know who is here. Post that. Did I pin it? How do you pin it? Anyways, I don't know how to do that. Sorry. It is all good. So I'm going to say, hey, 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 everybody. Woo, what is happening? What did I just do? Just because I'm trying to wave to the people that are coming on. Hey, tell me where you're watching from. Tell me if you got snowed in today, wherever you are in the world. I hope that you tackled your Monday. And if you didn't, that is okay too. Because guess what? We're not robots. We're not machines. And we can't be going all the time. So there are days that are going to be awesome. And there's going to be days where you're going to feel like... this is hard. And you know what? Whoops. Cancel. I'm just trying to say hey. And that's okay. See, the healthiest people are able to live through all the feels. And I've been in a funk probably since Friday. Just feeling like today, the exact words that I said to my husband was, I feel like a failure. Actually, this morning I did a meditation and all I did was cry. Because I was just like, I feel like I'm such a failure. So if this is you, have you ever felt like this? If this is you, let me know. I'm going to say girls, guys, ladies, gentlemen, let me know who is here because I want you to know you're not alone. So tonight's talk is all about that. So if you have felt like that, let me know. I know I'm on my personal page, but I was on my Feed That Glow page. Not a big deal. For those who don't know, I do have a Feed That Glow page that you can go and like and share. That'd be awesome. But tonight's talk, feeling in a funk. So guess what? The healthiest people are those who are able to feel the full spectrum of emotions. And emotions are meant to flow through us. So, as I said this morning, I was feeling really like bleh, and the exact words I used to talk about my feelings to Mark was, I feel like such a failure. I feel like such a failure. I feel like I'm hitting a wall. I feel like, I don't know, all these things. And I know I'm not the only one. So I want to come on and give a little pep talk, because I think sometimes we need these things and it's going to be beneficial. So here we go. First of all, failure. Oh man, failure. Listen to this. Failure is actually just a self-diagnosed state of being. It is not the reality of things. So if you've been following me for any long time, you know that I don't really believe in failure. I think that we're always either living or we're learning. I don't believe in mistakes. I think that we'd show up as we had to at that time because it's what we thought we wanted. I believe in pivoting. I believe you can make decisions and start going a certain way, and then you can pivot and change. Why? Because we're not trees. We're not rooted in the ground and stuck. So being aware of that just really helps put things into perspective and into context, and understanding that life is going to have all the feels, and that is okay. So what is, when I was discussing this with Mark, I was like, I feel like such a failure, and then he was like, but it's mostly you're just self-diagnosing yourself. It's not like the reality. And I thought, oh my God, that's brilliant. I need to go on tonight and share that, because it's true. When we feel like we are failures, we're actually just self-diagnosing ourselves based on, and here's where it is, you do this based on comparing to other people's lanes, right? You're not staying head down grinding in your own lane. You're actually looking around and being like, I should be further along, or I shouldn't be going through these things. This is what that is, right? The comparison trap, this is how it happens. And I'm not saying that I've been doing this, but clearly I have been, and just feeling like all this work, I'm doing all of these things, and I just feel stuck. So I wanted to talk about that. See, emotions are actually just energy in motion, meaning they're supposed to flow through you, they come through you, they go out. They're not supposed to stay stuck to you. So if you're feeling stuck, it's probably because you're holding on too tight to these emotions that are trying to get out, and I want to talk about a way to help you process them. So it's like a little bit of a pep talk that I've been trying to give myself for the last few days, and I'm figuring it might benefit you too, so let's talk about the feels. Emotions are never logical. Number one, they're not logical. They are not logical. You are so expansive that you can hold all the feels within you at any one time, okay? I am that person that will sometimes laugh when I'm nervous in a situation that's not really funny, okay? That's how I process emotions. Doesn't mean I'm a heartless person. Heck no. That is just how I do the things. But understand, you are allowed to feel all the feels, and you're allowed to feel them and flip them and all the things. What I want you to know though is it is always the thoughts that are directing the emotion. So you will have a thought, and instantly that is the emotion that will attach itself. Why? Because of the thought and the intent behind what you are feeling, right? Or behind the thing that you were thinking that makes you feel it, if that makes any sense, right? Perfect example of this is, let's say you're walking in the forest and it's getting to be a little bit dark outside, but you can kind of see, but not really great. You're walking and you're going to see like these things on the ground, and you're not sure what that is. So the first thought you might have is, oh my gosh, is that a snake? Oh my gosh, what is that, right? But if you had a flashlight and you were to flash it on on the ground, you would see that it's probably just the tree roots. So instantly you would feel relieved. This is the best way to understand how it is always the intent and the meaning we put behind things that attach to the emotion that show up in how we decide to show up. So when you are feeling like I've been feeling in a funk, how do you think my whole physiological self is responding? Do you think that I'm acting super confident? And no, right? I sat and I cried in a meditation, and crying is beautiful. You have to have this release. But do you think you walk around super proud and super confident and super feeling yourself when you feel like you're a failure? No. No, your whole physiological self, your shoulders will roll in front of you. You just feel blah. You don't want to connect with people. This is where you're going to pull away, right? And I want to tell you that that is the time that you need to start reaching out to those that you're close with and just have the messy conversations. It doesn't mean that what you're feeling is the reality, right? It's not. Hey. So these are the best invitations to go inside and say, why am I feeling like this, right? Have I been comparing myself? Have I been following some kind of timeline where I figured I would have all these things accomplished by a certain expiration date, right? What is it, the pressure that you're telling yourself, either in your head, which obviously this head talk is the most important, or it like out loud, right? How are you treating yourself? So this is where I would use emotions and the feels to actually be the invitations to go inside and see why I'm feeling like this. Hey fam, this is awesome. I'm getting a whole bunch of girls, guys. Hey, how's it going? I didn't realize I was on my personal page, but it's not a big deal. So we're talking about failure. And I mean, it sucks. Right now, here I am big and smiling, but like legit, half an hour ago, I was having a meltdown, okay? So if I look like, yes, I was having the meltdown. Why? Because emotions, because human, because we live a human mess, and that's okay, right? So when you feel like this, I don't want you to take it and run it and use it as your identity. It is not. They're seasons, right? And I missed the Oscars last night. I'm going to have to rewatch the Lady Gaga's speech, but I put a post of what she's said on Feed That Glow, which to me was like mic drop Monday motivation. And she talks about it. She talks about it's not about winning. So my first point is actually go deep, do that investigation within yourself and ask, why is it that you are feeling like a failure? Because you're not, right? Your truth is you're more than that. But you can feel like it in this moment. You can sit in the pit, and I'm all about sitting in the pit, but just don't stay there. Don't camp out there forever. It's not a place for you to reside, right? Number 2, Lady Gaga's speech, she said it so beautifully. It's not about winning. It's about how many times you get knocked down and how many times you're going to stand back up. So whatever it is that you're working for, right? And some of us, we don't even know what we're working for. So if you're feeling like a failure, I would say maybe it's because you need to have little challenges in your life, little goals to help you focus. And that's okay, right? And when I talk about this, and I've had a few readers write back to me and say like, I don't know what it is that I want to do. I don't feel like I want to be big and all the things, because my whole motto is live big, get in your body, take up space there to live big in your life. And I get that. You don't have to turn around and be the next Oprah. Girlfriend, not at all. But you can be the best you that you are, because I honestly believe we all came here with a purpose, all of us. And the sad thing is that somewhere along the way we forgot. So your purpose might be to be the best you there is. I mean, I think that's everybody's purpose. You be the best you that there is. We all have hidden gifts within us. Some of us is writing, singing, dancing, whatever, inventing things. And others, it's other things. It's not a big deal, right? It's not a comparison. Again, not a comparison. Go back to step 1. We're not here to compare and compete with anybody. We're just here to live our best life and to remember what it is we came here to do. So Lady Gaga said it best. It's not about, hey, I'm just going to wave to the Instagram fam. I mean, are you feeling this? It is not about winning. It's about how many times you get knocked down and how many times you're going to stand back up. I mean, I want you to close your eyes right now. Let's do this right now. You're going to take your hand, you're going to put it on your heart. Close your eyes. I want you to go back and tap into the worst parts of your life that you've been through, okay? The worst days of your life, the most horrible thing that you can think of, okay? We all have a story. Now, girlfriend, dude, you're still here. Do you know how amazing that is? You survived, right? You survived. And sometimes surviving is just getting out of bed in the morning. I get it. I've had those moments, right? But where you are is going to be totally different from where you're going to be in a year. Why? Because we're constantly evolving. The goal is to constantly evolve into whoever it is you're going to be, right? It's not about what you do, it's who you be. And you're not her yet, and you're not him yet, right? You're just showing up and you're learning. So failure is just a self-diagnosed emotion. It's not the reality. It is not your truth. So you can turn around and get back up. And you can evaluate what it is that you want in life and what you're willing to do to go get it, right? I put myself out here on this social platform. Why? Because I feel like I have a purpose. I feel like when I write my things and I on my podcast or my newsletters or whatever it is, I feel like I connect with those women that need it, right? So I keep showing up. And a lot of times when I write the most vulnerable things, I'm writing them to me. And I get readers that write back and they'll say like, are you in my head? This is what I'm living right now. Or this is what I've survived. And I'm like, awesome, because I write these things as pep talks to myself as well. I'm going to tell you right now, nobody has it figured out. Everybody is winging it. We're doing the best we can with what we have, right? So, as Lady Gaga said, it's not about winning. It's about how many times you're going to get knocked down and get back up. Because this is your life, and you are the main character. You're writing a story, and like a little reminder here, everybody has a chapter or a few that they don't read out loud. Okay, but those chapters are so important. Step number 3, man, I want you to think of this. I want you to think of, now we tapped into like your worst days of your life and how you've pulled yourself out because you're amazing like that. I want you to think about all the great things you have in your life because somebody else invented them and they didn't give up on themselves. Look at this, the best example. I'm talking to you on these screens, okay? Thank goodness that Steve Jobs didn't give up, right? Because otherwise I wouldn't have this to do my business with, right? Do you understand? People who come so close to achieving what it is they want and they give up, there are so many stories. You can research that online. There are also those stories of those underdogs who kept getting back up, okay? So many stories. I like to connect to those stories because to me, they're models that it can be done, right? And if you want to talk about beliefs and people showing up, I mean, talk about the 4-minute mile, right? There was a time not long ago where people believed that a human couldn't run, right? The 4-minute mile. That record has been broken numerous times because one person believed that they can do it. And they kept showing up and failing and showing up and showing up and showing up until they broke the dang record, right? Now that record's been broke I don't know how many times, okay? So it's about understanding that, like, everybody goes through this. Everybody goes through this. It is normal. It's called being spiritual beings, right? Living a human mess. That's what it is. The next thing. So my next and final point is this. I don't believe in failure. I know I said this already, but I don't believe in failure. You're either living or you're learning. Right? And if you go in it with that open mindset, your growth mindset, you are more apt to grab the lessons that are there that you need to learn, right? These are the people that are going to mess up in anybody else's eyes, but they're actually learning and they're showing back up and they're going to reinvent themselves and they're going to show up. Their game life is super strong, right? They're going to keep reintroducing themselves because they're leveling up. So to me, that is amazing. Like, I don't know if you're feeling it. I'm seeing all these people. I'm going to see, hey. Hello, the Graham fam. I don't know if Facebook has anything to add about this, but it's so true. It's like, you think about that. Just think about that for a second. I mean, we all go through the feels, right? And if you want to be an ultimately healthy human being, you have to allow the full spectrum of emotions, right? And they're invitations. You're allowed to have them all. You are allowed to experience them all. but they don't have to they don't have to be the ones that run the show, right? You're not just reacting to life, right? You get a say. So if you're feeling in a funk like I've been feeling in a funk, then it is time to go inside and say, why are you feeling in a funk? What is it that you're doing? Are you being too strict on yourself? Do you have all these unrealistic expectations? And I'm all for going big with your goals, right? Step right out of your comfort zone. But it's more about managing those expectations. If you think you're going to be debt-free in 2 months, that's probably not going to happen. If you think you're going to get in the best physical shape of your life in 12 weeks, that might not happen, right? You have to manage these expectations. You think that you're going to marry your Prince Charming and have all your kids by this set age, right? That's probably not going to happen. You have to be willing to manage these expectations. And that is where it comes into, what are you telling yourself? What is the pressure you're creating on yourself? And then let it go, right? Just show up. You don't have to know what it is. You have to know what it is you want. You're not in control of how you're going to get it. You just show up and you do the hard work, and it will show up. It'll be there. And I mean, I was reading something the other day because I was in the funk, and I was reading about the caterpillar. And the caterpillar, do you know that we'll say it, him, it, whatever, when it's in its cocoon, it has to eat its legs to stay alive. I did not know that. It eats itself to stay alive. It is in the dark. It is alone. It is going through the biggest transformation of its life. Then she has to break through the chrysalis by herself. If anybody were to try to break it open for her, she'll die. She's got to break through it by herself. And when she breaks through it, she doesn't even know she has wings, y'all. She's got to just trust. So whatever it is you're going through, whatever it is you're trying to work towards, whatever it is you want to achieve. I mean, I got big goals, okay? I've put them all out there. I have huge goals, and I'm sure you do too. And again, it doesn't have to be the next Oprah, right? Whatever your goal is, it matters to you. So how are you going to show up and work for it? And then put it out in the universe and trust that it's going to happen. I'm not saying sit on your couch and just let life happen. No, girlfriend. No. You got to do the work. You got to actually show up. You got to get messy. You got to get uncomfortable, because nothing happens in our comfort zones. Growth is always on the outside of that. And with that comes a lot of stress. That is why so many people, when they launch into what it is that they want to do, whatever their goals are, and they understand the stress that starts happening, they start to tell themselves a little lie. They start saying, well, I guess it wasn't meant to be. I guess I wasn't meant to do this. I guess I'm just going to go back over here because it's too hard. Listen, you don't plant a seed today and have a tree tomorrow that's giving you fruit. You don't. You plant the seed in the earth. You have to make sure it's in the right earth. So this is where you're going to make sure that you are surrounded with the right people in your life to inspire you, because that's your earth, right? The people who hold you and call you out on your bullshit, right? You need people like that in your life that are going to call you on your bullshit. They're going to sit in the pit with you, but when it's time, they're going to say, okay, stop talking. Stop talking, because all you're doing is convincing yourself that you're not enough. Stop talking, get up, get out of this darn pit, and do what it is you came to do. What did you come here to cause and create? Show up in it. Right? So you plant the seed in the proper environment, the earth, you water it. It has the sun to help it grow. It's not going to grow overnight. It is not going to grow overnight, right? Flowers grow in dirt. If you're in a really rough season, it's probably because you're about to bloom. Keep showing up. Ooh, somebody let me comment. Let me see. So many of y'all on tonight. Hey, how's it going? The only way out is through. Yes. The only way out is through. The struggle is the way. The struggle is the way. And when we are afraid of something, when we have a goal and it scares us so bad, that is your flashlight. You run right into it. You will learn so many things. I'd rather say I showed up and I did all these incredible, crazy things, right? The Crystal from 5 years ago never thought she would have a YouTube channel, websites, and a podcast. What? Now she's thinking of writing a book. This is crazy, right? She wasn't me yet. That was Crystal from 4 years ago. She wasn't me yet. I had to do all these steps, all these really uncomfortable steps to just show up in it. And you know what? I'm not who I want to be. I don't even know what she looks like. But my highest self keeps telling me, girl, get in the mess of it and show the F up. Do the work, right? So this little power talk, I hope that it served you. I've been replaying it in my head since Friday. Girl, you're in the pit. You feel like a failure. Is that your truth? No. Do people think you suck? Who cares? Do people think you're great? Who cares? Right? That's another thing, friends. That is another thing. What people think of you has nothing to do with you. We are all mirror images. So if you like me, it's because you see something inside of me that you like inside of you. And if you don't like me, okay, bye. But if you don't like me, then that's because I light something up inside of you that you don't like inside of you. And that's okay. Do the work or don't. It doesn't matter. What people think of you doesn't matter, right? And as an people pleaser, like a recovering people pleaser, that is so hard. That is one of my struggles in life. It's like, I just want to be liked, right? I was that kid of like, why don't you like me? And I can't live like that no more. Oh, thanks, girl. Yeah, I watched it. But yeah, it's about showing up in the mess of it and showing up and understanding that it's not up to you to figure out how you're going to get there. You got to have some trust. But if you do the work and if you trust and you keep showing up in the mess of it and you keep picking yourself up, just like Lady Gaga said, right? It's not about winning. It's about how many times you're going to get back up after you've been knocked down. Because the game of life is this. We all got dealt some cards. And it doesn't matter if you have shit cards. You can still win this game of life if you know how to play it. And the best way to play it, you be you. In your lane, you do you, because there's only one of you, right? We all came here with a purpose and a passion to do something. We all have talents, gifts to give to the world, magic. And a lot of us are not tapping into that magic because we're afraid of what other people think, or we're afraid we're going to fail. And here I am telling you right now, I've been tapping into this dang magic and I still feel like a failure from every now and then. I still do, right? It hits me. Why? Because I'm human, right? Well, I'm a spiritual being living in a human mess. So this is what this message was about today. I'm so happy that you came here on this Monday night for Food for Thought. If I said anything that resonated with you or sparked something in you that you think somebody else would benefit, I would love it if you would share this out, because my goal is to really reach those people that need to hear this message. Too many of us are stuck here and we're not living here. And I want to get us back from the longest journey anybody has to ever do. It's from here to here. Right? That is it. So it's not about living in here. Get back in here, right? That's all it's about. And for people on my private page, because I thought it was on my Feed That Glow page, hey, I do have a Feed That Glow Facebook page that you can go like and follow. That would be so sweet. Also, this is for the Gram fam as well. I have a private Facebook group attached to my Feed That Glow page called Radiant Rebels, #Team Glow. That is where we take like a lot of our other conversations and more on the down low, because I understand some people don't like to share publicly like me, and that's cool. So there is always that page. And I mean, just keep writing to me, letting me know what it is you want to talk about. Like if you heard a podcast episode that really, sparks something in you, let me know. I need to know these things, right? Because then I know what it is you want to hear, and I can keep showing up and sharing what I share, because I honestly believe we don't just go through what we go through just for ourselves. I think that our biggest purpose is to, once we have figured it out as best as we can, it is our duty to share with somebody else that is going through something similar, because we got to normalize and neutralize a lot of these things. And I'm going to be brave enough to talk about a lot of these things. I actually have a podcast episode dropping sometime this week talking a lot of intense vulnerable stuff, and when that's ready to go, I will for sure be sure to let you know. Also, before I get off, if you have not grabbed your free copy of the Self-Love Soldier Rebellion Guide, just go to feedthatglow.co, go under freebies. I have I have a few freebies there. Check them out. Grab this Self-Love Soldier Rebellion guide, because that is a guide that I created as a little mini pep talk to myself again on how to keep showing up in the mess of it all, no matter what, right? And this is it. So, the Graham fam, I don't know if people have questions, but thank you once again. I'm going to just say some hey for being here on a Monday night. I love you. I love you. I love you. Oh, merci, Agathe. Hey, Julie. Max was on. Hello. I'm just going to say hey to all the peoples. And I mean, if there's no questions, I'm going to get off and go get my son. He's at a little play date. I appreciate you all so much. I just want you to know that. Also, ladies, y'all are queens, okay? Show up in it. You are a queen. It's time that we show up in it. We are amazing beyond measure. Enough of this talk of feeling like we're not enough, right? I mean, you might feel like it sometimes, just like I feel like a failure sometimes, and you might feel like a failure sometimes. We don't sit in there for too long, okay? So you get in the funk, connect with those who can pull you out of that, and reach out to me, right? So that's all I have for you, lovely souls. Thank you so much for spending your Monday night with me. I'm about to go get my boy now. Peace, love. Bye, Graham. I'm going to say bye to the Instagram. I think it's done. Yeah. Peace, love. Bye, Facebook.